we have an agreement that condoms are required at all times. That is pretty much the gist of it. I mean, we don't require things like dental dams or anything like that. We do require condoms at all times, and we just require each other to be thinking clearly and to be thinking safely, outside of using condoms at all times.
I like to think of this as relative amounts of fluid bonded. If you're kissing someone, you're slightly fluid bonded at that point. And you can certainly pass on herpes, you can pass on other, esophageal gonorrhea, like all kinds of odd things. Big dollar words right there. And so we know each other's behaviors and a certain amount of safety that we always take in, and we just trust each other to follow our best judgments on that, and to have those safe sex conversations with new partners. If you're going to get involved with someone that has something, you should be talking about that with the partner, and then at that point you make your decisions, you take your risks. We still use condoms even after 2 years of being together, partly because of that and also because of pregnancy and the other hassles of birth control we don't really want to get involved with, so we stick to condoms for the moment. For the last 2 years, and so that's also an additional barrier. And then we get tested regularly too, for AIDS as well, HIV as well as other diseases as well. And if there's a slip up, that's a different story. And by slip up, I don't mean a condom wasn't used, because that's never happened, and I don't think it's going to happen. But a condom could break, it could slip off. There's those kind of moments, and then you talk about it and you weigh out what's the reality of this risk. Do we need to go rush down to Planned Parenthood right now? Or is it something like, yeah, we'll get tested, eventually, next week, whatever. We'll weigh the pros and cons. We don't really hold any particular act sacred. I've encountered a lot of couples that they'll hold one particular act sacred. No anal sex with anyone but me. No kissing with anyone but me. No whatever. They'll go around the whole gamut. I've encountered couples where the only thing that they do outside of each other is oral sex. So eating ain't cheating in that combo. It's a real thing, and it's always surprising. It's like, I could put my dick in your girl's mouth, but I can't have sex with her, huh? All right, great. We don't really specify on the acts. Like she said, we do what we want when we're apart. And, if we don't like it, that's kind of our problem. I'm not there to keep tabs on her, and same with me. And as far as the safety of everything, we accept a certain amount of risk in our lives. I don't necessarily recommend it, but if we're both having oral sex with other people, certainly that could introduce a problem into the relationship. It's been okay so far, and we intend to continue doing that.
Well, let me just tell you how serious we are about the condom rule. Just a little story. I had met a guy, and we went out on a first date, and it was really clicking. Like, I couldn't even believe, like I said, because I'm extremely picky, I could not believe how well it was clicking with this guy. And, it just got to the point where we were just like, okay, yeah, we're gonna totally do this. We got back to my place, we got completely naked, and that's when I found out that he doesn't use condoms. I said, get dressed right now. This is not happening. And I was so pissed at him because I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, this is the thing that's going to stop us from having sex right now because you don't wear condoms? Get dressed. It was the fact that he was ready to stick it in without a condom, without discussing it with me. And I was like, excuse me, haven't you forgotten something? And he, so that's number one, that he's not using a condom with me. And then the fact that he was like, oh, well, condoms don't really work for me. And I'm like, okay, well then this is not going to work, because I don't know what you have now. Like, you are just like complete danger in my mind. Well, he tried to go ahead and assure me that he gets tested, regularly or semi-regularly or whatever it was that he said. But at this point, I was like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And the fact that he didn't even decide to have that conversation with me tells me that this is happening for him a lot, where it's totally fine for him to just go forth without using a condom, without discussing with it. How many girls has he done that with? No.
I was upset with him too, because supposedly he was cool with my existence and the role I played in their life, in her life, but he obviously didn't want to respect our rule. We had so few rules. There's so few, and and you're gonna break one, dude? What the, I hadn't even met him yet, and I was pissed. I was like, you gotta respect the fact that she's involved. She has rules that go beyond you. She has rules beyond herself even, and you want to break those rules. And there's layers of disrespect there, where,
Do you know about your rule?
well,
Unless you hadn't discussed
she was telling him in the moment.
in the moment.
In the moment, they're about that.
There had
The assumption was, I mean, it's 2014. People assume that we're going to use condoms. Well, you
One available at the time?
Oh, I had them. I had my own. I was trying to reach for it. I was trying to be like, okay, so what? So you need a Magnum? I got that. No. Nope. That just wasn't it. I don't know. I really don't know what he meant by condoms don't work for me.
that's what I thought. That's what I told her.
He probably couldn't keep it up with a condom.
Probably couldn't keep it up. Prior to our relationship, this is a few years before. I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
Oh boy.
There was an occasion. I met a girl on MySpace. So it was a few years ago.
He's not joking.
No, I'm not joking. And she lived about an hour away, and she was really eager. This was going to happen. She was going to come over. It was like, let's go get a drink first, because I didn't want to meet her at my place first. I wanted to kind of vet a little bit. And I wasn't in any kind of serious relationship at the time. And we go and get a drink. We come back to my place. We start having sex. And I'm having a little trouble keeping it up. And this has been after a while, And so she says, oh, don't worry about it. I'll just use the pill tomorrow. I'll just use Plan B tomorrow. I'm like, you need to go. She's like, what? Like, there's no way I'm getting it hard now. I'm real turned off now, and I don't think I don't know if that's the norm. I don't know if that's how most men in that behavior, in that situation would behave. Would they say, yeah, fuck it, let's go? I don't know. But that's certainly not how I function. It's a super turnoff if a girl on a first time wants to go without condoms with me. I can't perform.